All right, everybody ready? Everybody ready for me to get started?
You may begin.
Roll it.
You all are on the continent and world, since it's referred to that way, of Lam Oram, which is Dwarven. Everybody refers to it this way, just because it kind of caught on. It was a lot more simple than the extravagant name that was given to it by other historians. Right now, you are in Netulaten, which is the capital city of the Terravan Empire. All of you are traveling for one reason or another. And it is situated in the middle of a very large desert that takes up most of the continent. The continent is divided into three large sections. There is a large open plain of sorts filled with various terrain, but mostly uninhabited. No trees, full of small grass, desert animals, sand dunes, and large sections of badlands. It's very dry. And then there are the mountains, which are controlled primarily by the dwarves, which split the continent. Those mountains are nigh impassable, and you can't go to the top of them without basically immediately freezing. They're unfordable. You have to go through the dwarves to get to the other side. And then to the far east, there are the forests of the elves. The elves only have one nation, and they only have one open port in this nation that anyone's allowed to trade in. If you're caught in the rest of their lands, you are killed without question.
Good
And as
God.
such, it's highly unexplored.
I have a question. Do you have the map drawn up for this yet?
You guys don't own a map yet, which is my excuse for why I don't have it quite.
Okay, understood. Cool.
You're all poor. You're extremely poor, mostly from traveling. But you all still have your equipment, thankfully, and your good health. All of you are wandering around the city right now looking for something to do or a place to stay. And pretty much everybody directs you to a tavern called the Bent Coin. It's early in the morning, and the first one to enter this tavern is a dwarf. A dwarf in armor, as a matter of fact. What does this dwarf look like, Latro, and what does he do? And what's his name?
His name is Grent Grommel. He's about 4.5 feet tall. He's got black hair, kind of tanned. Actually, pretty tanned, really. All that time being around forges and shit, you know. But he's got, you probably couldn't tell that real well because he's just got his full armor set on, all that good stuff. But other than that, he's just pretty dwarfy on the whole, squinty-eyed, bearded, all that fun shit.
Very nice. And what does he do?
What does he do upon entering the tavern?
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of looks around and he looks for an open seat, really.
Okay. It's very busy, but there are some open seats. There's some by the bar and some at the tables.
I'm going to sit at a table if I can.
Okay, you go and you sit at a table.
I put like my shield and my axe down on the table and just kind of take a load off.
The next person to enter is...
Before you start that ramble real quick, like, what option is it that turns down the sound of the background music?
It's in your settings, in the master music
Oh,
volume.
it's literally the first one. Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. The next one to enter is a half-elf. What's his name? What does he look like? And what does he do?
His name is Andarin Veldemar. He is a hunter, and he's average height, average build, dark hair, and brown eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He enters the tavern, and I look around. I try to find a seat facing the doorway.
You get some odd looks when you enter, but people turn away pretty quickly. They don't stare for too long. And you do find a seat. Your back is to this other dwarf that's in another seat. Both of you are at empty tables, but you're facing towards the door. And the third one to enter is a human fellow, also with some rather hefty armor. What does he look like? What's his name, and what does he do? Ryan?
He's about 6 foot, 6'1". He's about 220. He's got kind of sandy brown hair, brown eyes, and he just comes in the bar and goes up and gets himself a table, sit down, and just keeps an eye on and surveys the place real quick.
Right. You just look around and have a look at everyone there.
Right.
It's very busy here, actually, and there's a surprising amount of people walking in and out of the tavern. You got jostled on your way in. And there's a lot of people standing around talking. A surprising amount of them are armed or armored, and they're looking at a board with a lot of papers on it. Sort of like a really overcrowded, that's what I'm looking for. Like a task board, pretty much.
So I got jostled. That means I need to examine and look real quick. Can I tell what happened? You do a perception roll?
Yeah, sure. As far as you can tell, you didn't have anything stolen from you, but you also didn't really have anything worth stealing in the first place. You're broke. You're really broke.
Yeah. All right, so I guess I will go up look at the job board and see if I can find something to help me alleviate this situation of being broke.
All right, you go and have a look at all the jobs that people are taking. There doesn't seem to be an awful lot of mundane things. You do see that all the jobs are marked with little icons in the top right or the bottom right, and they're all very official. And you see some groups are looking at ones with certain icons, and some are avoiding others. So there's clearly some kind of organization here that you don't understand.
All right. I will go talk to the barkeep and see if I can ascertain as what the icons are for.
You approach the barkeep, who is a tall, balding man. And right now, he's just talking with his kitchen staff about something or other. But when he sees you approach, he turns to speak to you. Hello, what can I do you for?
Good day, gentlemen. I was looking at the job board and I noticed that some of these jobs, actually all of these jobs, have little icons on them, and I was curious what they might be for, so I could, possibly find some employment.
He grins at you. Oh, I see you're new in town. Well, I can help you out. This is the Bent Coin. It's the premier spot for all sorts of adventurers and mercenaries to come here and find work. The organization system is simple. The guild here runs on a difficulty system, of course. The more difficult jobs get, the better payouts,
Okay.
It's a 4-tiered system. You have a copper coin, a silver coin, a gold coin, and a mithril token. The mithril token jobs are typically something more private and highly professional. Everyone is forced to start as a copper, of course, but you can work your way up quickly.
Okay. So, I will take a look at these copper jobs. Now, you mentioned guild. Is there something we have to join in order to take one of these jobs, or is it more of just a as needed type thing.
Yes, you must register, of course.
Must register. Who would I register with?
Why, me? And
Okay.
he pulls out a large ledger. He flips to a blank, well, not blank, it's a contract of sorts, sheet with a few places to sign your name. Please take a moment to read and sign.
Okay. And I will take the clipboard and the paper and actually read what I'm signing.
Okay. So you take a little while to read it.
All right. In reading the document, is there anything out of the ordinary that I should be concerned about? Is there any, anything I'm
No,
signing
it's pretty
away?
normal. It's just saying blah blah blah, not responsible for your horrifying death, blah blah blah.
It's an indemnity
Disclaimer,
waiver.
pretty much.
Okay. All right. I'm not signing my life away, joining a 2-year, 3-year enlistment or anything like that, right? So,
Fortunately, no.
okay. Do I? Yeah, I guess I should make a. I guess would it be a perception roll just to kind of see if there's anything that would be concerning to me? Would that help me in that, or is it pretty
Sure.
straightforward?
Yeah, you can do that. It seems pretty straightforward to you. There's no tricky language. They're not trying to trick you with any kind of technicalities. It's very open-ended.
Okay. In that case, I will sign it then.
You sign it, and he smiles, and he hands you a small bracelet with a a copper coin with a hole in the middle. Please take this with you. This will show you as one of our employees, member of the guild, as it were.
Okay. I appreciate it. And I'll pocket the coin, and I guess head on over to the board and take a look.
Before you go,
Oh,
a
yeah,
piece of
yes.
advice.
Okay.
Many of those are not single-man tasks, and you will quickly find yourself overwhelmed by the beast or bandits of the waste. You may wish to find friends.
Okay. Thanks for the tip. I appreciate it, and I will take that into consideration.
Of course, good luck.
Okay, so like upon seeing that little interaction, my guy Grint, he kind of like walks up to Ryan's character, and he kind of like nudges him, and he's like, "So what's the deal with like the with like the symbols and stuff?" I couldn't tell heads from tails from that. I was a little bit too embarrassed to ask.
Oh, no. Yeah. So apparently they've got like a ranking system on how easy or high or hard the jobs are. And apparently you have to kind of sign up in the guild, and they'll only let you do the copper jobs first. So I have to, if you want to take on one of these jobs, I guess you have to sign a form and get admitted into their guild before they'll let you take one of the jobs.
Sign stuff. I'm not a big fan of signing stuff. What kind of stuff you gotta sign?
It's more of a indemnity waiver that if you die, they're not responsible, and your family can't come after them for it.
I mean, a piece of paper wouldn't stop my family, but all right.
Yeah, it's formality that just scares off the people who don't know that they can bypass these things.
Fair enough. So then I'm gonna approach the bar and be like, "Yeah, I want one of those pieces of paper that he got."
What? I knew. Oh, you're another shiny, of course.
Mhm.
One moment. And he sets down a rack of lamb that he was carrying, and gets out his ledger again, flips to a new page, and shoves the quill and ink and the book at you.
Okay. And so I just like write my signature in there, and boom, done.
He shuffles the sheets inside and puts it away, and hands you your bracelet as well with a warm smile.
I'm like, What's with the trinket?
It signifies you as a member of the guild. You are required to display it whenever you take or turn in one of the jobs.
What happens if I lose it or it breaks?
You can get another one. That's why you are registered, of course. If you can confirm your identity here, then we can redistribute one to you, of course.
Mm-hmm. Can I get extras?
No, I'm afraid that's very off limits.
I see. Fine. All right then.
Of course.
All right, I'm headed over looking at the jobs. So
Yeah. All right.
All right.
and if I notice Lateral's character with me, I'll kind of nudge him a little bit and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
all you have to do is tell him you lost it, and I'll give you another one if you want more than one." What are they gonna do? Pat you down and make sure you don't have one on you.
Have one. What we talking about?
The coins.
Coins.
Yeah, the little coin that he gave you. You asked if you could.
I
I heard you
said
ask.
it was. I thought it was a bracelet.
Is it a bracelet? Oh yeah. Okay.
So with a coin attached to it.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay, I see.
I'm saying you could always just say you lost yours later. Get another one if you really wanted one.
All right.
All right. You approach the board to inspect it, and you make your way through the huddle of other people standing around. And it's just piling up. There's people coming and removing ones and putting them back up, and there's a worker that comes and swaps a few, marks something as done. It's very busy, so it's gonna be hard to keep an eye on things.
I also approach the barkeep and ask to see the ledger.
What do you want to see the ledger for?
I'm thinking about signing up. I want to read through the contract.
Oh, of course. Here you go. He opens it to a fresh page. One moment. Please don't mess around in there. I need to go and handle something in the kitchens. He leaves off to the kitchens. All right.
All right. So looking at the board, is there? I guess do an investigation, see if I can find anything that's investigation or perception for just finding something I think that would fit.
Yeah, either works. Investigation is going to be more in depth.
Okay. No, not really.
There's so much hubbub going about, and you try to pull a few of the papers off, but none of them are things that are really related to you, or things that you could take up. You end up grabbing a Mithril one by accident. Definitely not right. And Grint comes up behind you and also tries to search, and in the middle of trying to pull one off the board, he accidentally elbows a fellow.
Yeah.
Starting off right, aren't we?
Yeah, like my first roll's a 1. I couldn't be more pleased.
Who's that?
I'm sorry. I was just trying to look at the papers stuff.
Yeah, you looking to fight, little copper?
I absolutely. You want to go right here, right now?
We'd have to take it outside.
That's fine by me. It's a fantastic day outside. Good day for an ass beating, I'd say.
Okay.
All right, then.
The fellow's friends, they all look very smug, and he walks out the door of the tavern. And a few people have noticed, and they're coming to watch as well.
Okay, well, I head outside then.
Okay. You head outside, and somebody else, a random dude, is preparing to give the countdown for your fight.
All right, I'm gonna.
Okay, so but what's the deal here? We doing like fisticuffs or what?
No, he's getting his axe ready.
Oh, all right then. I grab my shit and I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I'm gonna head on out and kind of keep an eye on what's going on, just to see what happens here.
Okay. You both are drawing a little bit of a crowd out there, and people inside the bar. A few of them are like looking out the windows, so you kind of interrupted things. And people in the streets are standing around and watching as
It
well.
always starts off like this.
The countdown to the fight is given, and your opponent starts running at you. Make some kind of roll if you want to. Or inspect him, or do what you want.
I would like to meet him head on. Make a strength roll, I guess, to see if I can like maybe withstand his blow or even knock him back.
Okay, sure. Okay, yeah. As he runs into you, you lean into him with your shoulder, and he trips and he falls into the dirt, but he rolls quite well and he's back up again.
Okay then.
Anything else you want to do?
Let me see. Well, I fucking want to attack him now. While he's rolling around.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ooh.
You charge at him and you swing your axe at him, but he blocks it with his shield. Seems like the both of you are doing something similar here.
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after this happens, a few guards approach and tell everyone to break it up.
Oh,
And,
that's some bullshit.
they pull you both apart. And apparently that fellow's gotten into some trouble before because the guards haul him off, while one guard tells you to be careful or you're going to get jailed for brawling.
I'm like, all right, fine. He started it though.
The guard seems dismissive of your claim that he started it, and he just walks away.
Fucking.
The fight's broken up now, so everybody continues about their way. It's actually,
Okay.
you said it was a nice day while you were in the bar, but it's actually very hot out in the streets today. It's the height of summer.
Mm-hmm. It's the perfect time to beat some ass.
The sun's beating down. Quite sweaty already, just from walking outside in your armor.
Oh yeah, you bet.
So while the fight was going on, I signed my name. Does the area around the board clear out?
It does somewhat, actually. A lot of people went out to go and watch the fight.
Okay. Just give me a moment here. I want to roll a perception check to see if there's a quick job notice that I can grab while it's thinned out.
Sure. All right, you get a much more in-depth look at the board than the other two, and just glancing around, you get a lot more information than they did by actively searching. There's only a few groups standing around now, and they're mostly discussing a few jobs that they've pulled off the board to look at, but none of them are your level. It's a few silver groups and a gold group, so it seems like most of the common jobs are still in a little row at the bottom. You find them quite easily. Few of them require some travel and some initial investment, and you can't really do that. You don't have much in terms of cash. But there are two in town that are kind of relevant to you. You could probably do these.
Okay. What are those two jobs?
One is that a trader wants help bringing a very large shipment of materials from just outside the city all the way up to his shop. You have to pass through a few rough neighborhoods to do it, so he's looking for some mercenaries, just some hired muscle. The second one is a noble who is looking to hire on some temporary guards for a banquet that he's having. Just people to just stand around and look pretty. He's trying to show off, pretty much.
I grabbed the notice for the trader's job.
Okay, you grab the notice for the mercenary work for the trader, and you bring that with you.
All right. I guess I'll come back in and just take a look at the board again myself.
Okay. You come back in and you pass this half elf who just walked away with one of the jobs, and you can pretty clearly see that it's a job at your level.
All right. I'll kind of tap him on the shoulder and say, "Hey, what'd you get there on a job? Is that something you might need some help with?"
It does look like it is more than I can handle by myself. Perhaps you would want to join me for this one. It's mercenary work for a trader.
For a trader. Sure. What's your name?
My name is Andarin.
Hey, thanks for
What
the
is yours?
sub, Harry. Appreciate it very much. My name is Braun. Glad to meet you. Yeah, let's take a look at this job real quick. Is there any details on here other than that, or is there anything we need to look into to see if we can figure out how to fulfill this job? It doesn't have any prices or anything on it, does it?
No, it just says to meet the trader at his shop.
All right.
He'll give you instructions from there.
Cool. Hey, there's this other guy that was looking too, in case you think we might need a third. If you want to grab him, we can head on over.
The dwarf who signed up right after you? Sure, I think we could take him along.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what these jobs are like, and new to town, I want to make sure if I do, the first job I do, I want to make sure we got enough people for it. So, let me go grab him. I'll try and look for him.
And so I'm basically just like outside, just kind of huffing and puffing now because I got blue balled by the fucking guards on my fight.
All right, yeah, you're huffing and puffing. You're ready for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's head out and I'll approach the dwarf and see if I can calm him down and get him taken with us.
You walk back out into the hot midday sun, and the street's full of people kicking up dust right now. It's not a very good place to stand around and talk much. The dwarf is out here as well, standing in the middle of the street.
All right, I'll approach him and say, "Hey, good day, sir. I noticed you were, we talked before. You were looking for a job. I think we might have found one. If you want to come along with us, we can go check it out and see if it's something up our alley."
And I was like, "Who do we hit to fight? Like, who are we hitting with the hammer and the axe?"
That's the problem. We don't know yet. We gotta go find out.
Well, I mean, you'd think the job would tell you the kind of people you're killing. That just makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think they don't want to scare anybody away. They want us to talk to the guy first and let him tell us.
Sounds a bit namby-pamby to me.
Maybe. Could be. Won't know until we go talk to him.
Well, what exactly does the job want us to do? Does he know?
Well, I know. It's we're just supposed to protect the trader from mercenaries, right?
We have to escort some goods through a few bad neighborhoods to where he wants to sell them.
All right. Yeah, I can scare off some punks. Yeah, I'm game.
All right, so let's head on over. Oh, by the way, my name's Braun. What's yours? I didn't catch it before when we were talking.
My name is Grint.
Good to meet you, Grint.
Good to meet you, Grint. My name is Andarin.
And Darin.
And Skalja, at the bottom of the chat page on the side, there's an as box. You want to change that to your character, so when you do rolls, it shows as your character doing the roll.
Yeah.
Just silly
Gotcha.
stuff.
And then type something afterwards so I know how your name is spelled. All right, there we go. All good.
Okay. The three of you together begin to walk through the dusty city.
And like as we're walking, I'm kind of like trying to make up some small talk to kind of see what's going down here. Try to see if these guys know their shit or not. And I'm like, so I was supposed to be out kind of collecting weapons and stuff in battle. Just kind of seeing the world. But this is the first time I've been out really away from my order. And I wasn't super good with my money. All right, sure. Some bad choices were made. Wasn't really sure about the pricing of things. And so I've had to take minor detours here and there. And that's kind of what got me here. I'm just doing this as a little side gig for now, you know?
Yeah, I understand completely. Yeah, I'm kind of in a little bit of the straits myself from some decisions that were made earlier. So just trying to get back on my feet.
I don't really want to talk about it.
Oh. All right. I have those kind of stories as well. It's understandable.
Okay. As you continue walking through the first terrace, you're not really stopped by anyone or bothered by anyone. It seems like most people are inside right now. And you make your way up to the closest gate to the second terrace. You know that the city is divided into 5 different levels. The first one is for pretty much anybody, and it has a lot of small shops and like food places and taverns, and like lower class homes, pretty much. The second level is mostly merchants, like lower class merchants, and more practical stores like a blacksmith, but something you wouldn't visit every day. And the third terrace is more rich merchants and things like jewelers and fine clothes and fancy restaurants and things like that. The fourth terrace has the barracks, and that's where most of the guards stay. It's the main level for temples and priests and soldiers as well. And the fifth terrace isn't a full terrace; it's actually just the palace itself in the palace complex, which is referred to as the apex by the people that live in the city. You're making your way to the gate for the second terrace, and when you try to go through, a guard stops you and asks you to have some kind of proof of currency before you can go up.
Proof of currency. What do you mean by that?
Well, you see, not everyone is of the purest intentions when going up, so we can't have thieves, you know? So some kind of proof that you have money or you're going up there for some kind of reason, of course. That's what we do.
I show him the bracelet and I'm like, with the adventuring guild, we're mercenaries.
Oh, of course. I assume you have the requisite papers with you?
Yes, I'm sure we do. I'm looking at the other two with my hands up, like what?
I step forward and show the contract.
Yeah, he gives it a look over. Of course. Please be on your way, fellows. And he lowers his spear and steps to the side.
All right.
You're admitted through the gate. This gate doesn't really have a lot of people going through it. It's mostly people carrying goods back and forth on carts. Carts which are pulled by axe beaks.
Axe beaks?
I'll show you what an axe beak looks like.
Okay.
All right.
That is an axe beak. It's about as tall as a horse. It's a very large bird.
It's a chocobo.
It's a bird. It's an axe beak, okay? The beak is shaped like an axe.
Chocobo it is.
Anyways, that's what's pulling the carts.
Oop, we lost Ryan.
Oh, I opened that thing
You
inside.
clicked on the thing,
yeah,
didn't you?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get back in.
I always do right click and open a new tab.
That's why I just hit middle mouse button, because it does the same thing, you troglodytes.
Oh, I didn't think the
Mr. Fancy.
thing would do it that way.
Yes, lots of carts with goods being pulled back and forth. Large barrels full of root juice is pretty much the substitute for water that they have here.
Root juice, huh?
It's harvested from all the roots and large underground plants that live nearby in the desert, since there's not an awful lot of water.
I kind of missed a little bit of the introduction here. This city we're in, what is the surrounding environment? Is it temperate, desert, what?
Desert, harsh desert, lots
Okay.
of badlands as well.
Gotcha.
You, as a dwarf, a hill dwarf, your specific group lives in some badlands to the north, where you actually make a lot of your money by harvesting valuable fossils that you sell.
Oop, you cut out there.
What did you hear at the end?
Harvesting fossils that you sell. That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
you sell them to collectors and other people that want them.
Okay,
That's how your group makes most of its money.
gotcha.
So yes, most water is actually very pricey here, but since the only source is one nearby river, which is quite small.
I see.
It doesn't look that small in the picture.
Pretty small, okay? It's not the scale.
It's only a model.
Actually, by the standard of rivers, that is a pretty small river.
It's no Mississippi.
At that distance, I don't know.
It's no Mississippi or Amazon.
Right.
It's like a white river from Indiana.
It's a good comparison. And you continue making your way through the merchant section. There's a lot more shops here and a lot more. There's some farmers here that have come to put up stands to sell their wares. There's a fellow who claims to be selling authentic wooden chairs as well, and he has quite the crowd.
I would like to see what this is all about. What does he mean by
Okay.
authentic wooden chairs?
Trees don't grow out in the desert in the Badlands, so wood is pretty much only imported from the elves, and it's very, very expensive. There's a substitute that people use that's sort of like a porous, almost rock, like a coral kind of thing.
Aha. Okay.
And that's what
So,
the handles of
I-
your weapons are made out of.
Right. I have a question. So, being a dwarf and having that there's a perk we have or something called stone something, where if I check to see if something's made out of stone or not, I get like a proficiency bonus. So, could I be able
Mhm.
to roll to see? I don't know what I would roll exactly, but roll to see if this is the real shit or not.
That would be investigation, and yes, you could do that.
Okay. So if I do this investigation, it acts as if I'm proficient in it. So I'm going to mark that's proficient and then roll it.
You
Ouch.
approach, and he has a few of his chairs on display, guarded, but people are allowed to like walk up and touch them. And they don't seem to be stone at all. Your dwarf senses tell you that they are not stone.
Okay.
These are in fact made out of wood.
Neat.
People are bidding on them.
I ask him where exactly does he get this wood from?
He takes a moment to stop his spiel to a few people that are asking him about other things,
Okay.
and he grins at you. Excellent question, my friend. I get all of my wood sourced from the elven forests. Of course, we pay a premium, and as such our craftsmanship reflects that, and so do our prices. We try to deliver the cheapest chairs around.
All right then.
Can I
Uh,
interest you in something?
no, that's it. Just wanted to know about this wood. That's all.
He seems a bit disappointed that he can't sell you anything, but
Yeah, I figured he would be.
smiles. He smiles at you anyways, and goes back to his other
Right.
questioners.
So, what else is happening? Like, so we're on our way to meet this merchant guy, right?
Mhm.
Right. So, I mean, we don't really have any money, so we can't exactly. I mean, we can make note of the shops here, I suppose. But yeah, I guess we can't really do much here.
Yeah, you
Like
could do that.
eat or anything, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually curious how much copper do we have right now, per person?
Check your inventory. You should have it.
What, really?
You have one.
Yeah,
I
you
also
roll-
have one.
No, I have
Okay.
roll
two,
your,
but you have one,
I
yeah.
rolled all your money.
We all got ones? What the fuck?
Well, I got it two, I think. I saw that you had one.
Oh, okay. That's fucked as hell, but all right.
Well, you know that 1 copper will buy you a meal in most places. Not
Right.
fancy, but you can get something to eat.
Right.
All right. I think we need to head on and find out about this job real quick so we can get going.
Yes. Agreed.
All right, you continue working your way up the grand streets. This is the main spiral street that wraps up the side of the city, so it's very busy. And before long, you think you find the street which the merchant said he would be at. The address was not very specific.
Is there a name on the contract?
There is.
Okay, I begin asking some of the other merchants about how the whereabouts of this gentleman.
Right. You enter the first shop that's nearby, and you ask the merchant there about the location of Bardolph, who's the smith that commissioned this job. And the shopkeeper tells you that Bardolph is down the street, and he's at the forge. So it'll be the building with the smoke.
I thank him and I step out of the shop.
Right. You leave the store and return to your companions. This alley is actually quite nicely shaded, so it's a good break from the heat, the larger road.
Okay, according to the shopkeep, Bardolph is at the forge down the street.
All right. Let's head to the forge. Anybody have any experience with forges? I look over at the door.
Sorry, I missed that. What were we talking about?
So the merchant apparently works at the
Right, the smith. I heard
The
that.
smith, yeah. So I just said, let's head on down and talk to him. And I asked if anybody had any experience with forges.
Oh yes, you could say that. I like me some weapons. All right, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Not too interested with smithing, but I like crushing and I like smashing with instruments that are proficient in such.
Yeah, I could tell earlier that you kind of like to fight, so this ought to be fun.
Okay, so are we at the smithy shop or whatever?
Yes, you approach Bardolph's small forge, and you can feel the heat coming off the inside.
Yeah, he's got weapons all over the place, I assume.
Not weapons. He seems to be a more practical store. He has
I
a lot
see.
of horseshoes, and he has tools, pickaxes, shovels, things like that. He does have some arrowheads though,
Mm-hmm.
sitting around in a box.
So my guy's walking and kind of feeling let down. He expected to see stabby things, and there aren't many to be found.
The work is very fine though. It's high quality work. All of these items would qualify for masterwork status. They are very nice.
Neat. Okay.
A middle-aged, going on old man. It's one of those people where you can't tell if he should be 40 or if he should be 80.
Mm-hmm.
Walks into the room and greets you.
He's a human.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He is wearing the traditional clothes of the area, you know, bright like workers, merchants' clothes, and a head wrap as well to keep the sun away.
Okay then.
Hello, my friends. What do you need from my store?
And I'll say, good day, sir. Actually, we're here to help you. We have noticed that you were looking for some help from the mercenaries, and we just kind of curious if you were interested still. And
Absolutely brilliant. Good thing you arrived when you did. Have to get to work on this commission already. Yes, we will begin immediately. Follow me, please.
Well, while you guys are
Alright.
talking, like my guy grabs like one of the pickaxes. He's kind of like swinging it around. He's like, how much damage could I do with that, really?
Well, the proficiency that follows it would be war pick. So
Well,
Probably good
I
damage.
would probably be proficient in that because I think I get all martial weapons being a war cleric.
I do believe a war pick is a martial weapon.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
You give it a few cursory swings. No, he sees you, but he ignores it. He doesn't seem to mind.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, after that, I just like put it back on the shelf. I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing the thing. What's the thing? Let's do it.
My goods are stored outside the city with another merchant. I will be giving him his payment, and then I will be escorting with you goods back to my store. Let me close up.
I asked him if he like, is there a lot of trouble with bandits outside the city?
The problem isn't outside the city, but inside the city. You know, we have been having a rash of muggings recently with the economic downturn.
That is understandable. Yeah. I'm now I think about it, it really wasn't even my fault that I lost all that money. It was that turning down you were talking about.
Yes, so of course, could always use some day work, you know.
Absolutely.
So, are you all ready? Let's go.
I'm ready. Let's go.
He closes the door to the forge and locks it securely behind him. And he walks down with you. He leads you on a slightly different route, but also slightly quicker route down to the gates of the city. A few of the guards you pass nod to him. They seem to know him. And shortly, after a good 30-minute walk, you are outside of the city. And out here, there's actually almost as many people as you saw on the inside. There's a large group of tents. Seems to be a lot of like nomadic traders and a lot of people just staying outside the city because it's cheaper because they have their own supplies and their own tents and things. And it's very chaotic out here. And the merchant leads you through some various groups and eventually to a ore merchant who he proceeds to talk to. Now, you could listen in if you want. He doesn't seem to mind. Right now, they're just negotiating prices and talking about the goods. Anything you guys want to do?
Not really. No, I just want to keep walking around.
Yeah, just keeping an eye out. Perception. That sort
Right. I
of
was
thing.
gonna say we're not. I mean, we're not with the goods yet, right? But I guess we should watch because this guy, someone might try to like pickpocket this dude or something.
I think he's
Yeah.
got money on him. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we all just do perception checks, or is there passive perception going? What's the deal?
I would roll people that are sneaking against your passive perception, but you could also look for them before it happens. Like, if somebody was coming to pickpocket him, you could use perception to spot their intentions before they do it. But passive perception, you would see it as they're trying to pull it off. So, like, if somebody bumps into him,
would I be able to see
perception picks it up.
like with insight? Would I be able to tell or look at people and see if they look like they're
shifty?
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. That's perfect for that.
All right then. Do I see anybody like that?
Nobody seems particularly shifty except for a guy that's doing some kind of like cup game. Probably some sort of hustler.
Right.
But everybody else seems to be going about their business as usual.
Well, now, so usually when there's things like that cup game shit going on, usually there's like a couple of hoverers who are picking the pockets of the people playing the cup game. People that work like that in tandem. Can I do a perception check to see if anyone's getting their pockets picked?
But you can look for that, sure.
Damn.
You don't see anybody like that. The crowd is a little bit too thick, and there's no reason to really suspect anybody yet. Nobody's noticed their money missing in the past few minutes.
Okay. All right.
Shortly, they make their deal, and there are 2 large crates, which the merchant instructs you to pick up.
All right, I'll grab one.
All right. Grab one of the crates, and the merchant, upon seeing none of you guys grab it, he grabs the other.
Well, what's going on now?
And you guys prepare to move.
You said he grabbed the other side of like the chest or whatever.
No, he got the second crate. There were 2.
Oh,
were
well
2
then
crates.
I'm like, I'll handle that. I got that.
He gratefully passes it off to you, and he begins to lead you back up through the city.
I make sure that my bow is at the low ready.
Yeah,
So these chests, they're supposed to have coins in them, right?
no, he did not specify what was in them, though he
I
implied
see.
that it was something he needed for a project.
Oh, okay. So now I'm confused. These are the materials he needed? We just picked those up,
You think so?
and he paid the guy.
He paid the guy with several coins, yes.
I'm gonna do an insight check on him then, see if this seems like it's on the level.
Okay.
If he's telling the truth.
If who's telling the truth, the merchant? That
The
you're helping, or
merchant, yeah. Like if we're picking up like supplies, or if this is something else.
You're unsure. He seems deep in thought. You can't get a read on him.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he begins to lead you back up through the city. At the gates, you are stopped by the guards, and they ask you to set down your goods, and the merchant instructs you to set them down. I'm assuming you do so.
Yes, I set my box down carefully.
You set the box down, and the guards pry them open, much to the merchant's consternation. He seems to begin to argue with the fellow in charge. They don't find anything untoward. He's just mostly
Hey, thanks
annoyed
for the
at hold-up.
cheer, Harry. I appreciate it.
And the guards close up the boxes.
Thank you.
That sits weird with me then. So I kind of asked him, like, did I get to see what was inside the boxes while the guards were doing shit?
You could try before.
I would like to check that up.
Okay.
What do I say exactly?
There's some items in there that seem to be wrapped in cloth. There's like a second wrapping inside of that, meant to protect the contents from rubbing against each other.
Right. Okay.
Whatever's in there is in large block shapes.
All right. So I asked him what exactly we're hauling here. I don't mean to pry, just kind of wondering why they're so heavy.
He looks around just to make sure nobody's listening, and besides the guards, and he says to you, "It's very valuable materials for my upcoming project.
Oh, all right,
Valuable
then.
indeed.
I see.
Some valuable pieces of bone recently found out in the steppes, using them for a carving for a sword handle.
No kidding.
Yes, it may take many attempts to get exactly what the buyer wants, but it's very lucrative indeed."
I see then. All right then. We'll be very careful with these.
Thank you. Yes, do be careful. They are quite fragile. All right. You continue to carry them through the gates and up through the city. Your journey now is much slower.
I want to do another insight check to see if he was telling me the whole truth right there about the bone shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You have no idea.
Uh,
In fact, the conversation left you almost confused.
yeah, like bones and swords. That's just weird.
Yeah, you're just flabbergasted by what he's told you. Yikes. Okay. So you continue up through the city, and you pass some interesting things. Though the merchant, it seems like he kind of wants to stop and look at stuff, but he also kind of wants to move.
Mhm.
He's having a hard time deciding what he wants to do.
Okay, so one of us, it's what do you call it? Andarin. He's not carrying a box, right? It's me and Ryan.
Yes.
So
That's correct.
I tell him to really watch our backs, because while we have this, while we're carrying these boxes, we're going to be really prone to pickpockets. We won't be able to keep an eye out, really. So I'm like, just watch out for those guys.
Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye out.
All right then.
Well, to be fair, we don't have anything to pickpocket.
They don't know that. I ain't giving up a single damn copper to those thieves.
Yeah. You don't want to lose 100% of your money.
Have to agree with that.
Before long, you do reach his shop without much of an issue, though it is later into the afternoon at this point. Surprisingly, your trip went without any issues. And the merchant is happy for your help. He prepares to pay you. He kind of like, he opens his wallet and he kind of like frowns, and he's like, "Would you, sirs, take 15 copper apiece in compensation for your services? Does it seem appropriate to you?"
I go, how about you throw in one of those nice picks over there?
Oh, I'm afraid that is quite beyond the value of this task, I'm afraid.
All right,
Though perhaps I could interest you in something smaller, perhaps?
So I'm going to roll
Like-
perception and just see if that's anywhere near a fair price for the going rates and things like that.
I mean, that would be more like insight, wouldn't it?
Either
Riz?
or. You could do.
Okay.
I'm gonna say you could do like a knowledge history for a vague idea of
All right, I'll do a history check.
like local prices and things like that. You
All
could
right.
do perception. A lot of options.
So that's pretty good, right?
Yes, you do in fact know what the local prices are like, and that would be a decent price.
Okay. But what was the smaller thing he was talking about giving us?
You're not sure yet.
Oh, okay. Well, he acted like he was gonna be like, well, I could give you.
He goes behind his counter and he looks through some things, and eventually he does pull out a small buckler, which he offers to you.
Oh, a shield, you mean?
Specifically a buckler.
Okay. I say yes. That would be quite gracious.
Of course. Here you go. This will be payment for all of you collectively, though, as it is a valuable item. So.
Oh, so we would forego that instead of all the copper.
Yes, yes.
I say I couldn't possibly do that. My friends need to get paid as well. So we will just take the copper then.
Okay, in that case, here you go. He hands you all your 15 copper apiece. Yeah, he gives you all your copper, and then he goes back behind his counter and begins to sort out his things that were in the crates. Please, if you desire more work, return tomorrow. I will have another job for you, of course.
Oh, well, certainly. I am curious. How much do you charge for these pickaxes?
That would be 10 silver.
Doing an insight roll to see if he's giving me a good price on that.
Okay. That seems to be a fair price to you. You're not sure how much these things generally cost.
Okay.
You've always kind of just had them made yourself, or your clan had a massive pile of them just sitting around unused for
Right.
future use.
But his seemed kind of nice, So I was thinking, yeah, I might take something back home, Why not?
They are quite nice.
Anyways, so with nothing else to do, I say that's great. Thank you very much. We'll be back tomorrow then.
Of course, I will see you then.
All right. And as we leave out of earshot, I'll just lean over and say, man, that was the easiest 15 copper I've gotten before.
Yeah, that wasn't... I'm going to say it. It was boring. It was quite boring.
It was a little boring. But we can sleep tonight.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about sleeping right now, though. My guy's still, worked up. Is there, an arena or a brawling pit around here somewhere?
You're not sure around here, but if you had to guess, you'd guess it's not in this neighborhood.
Right. And I doubt... I mean, there could be, underground stuff, but... I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna okay, can I go back to the area where the dude running the shell game was at?
Yeah, sure.
And I don't know if you guys want to come along with me or not.
Yeah, I got some time to kill. I want to go back to the bar eventually and see if there's another job that we could do tonight still, or if we can get moved up into the next level of jobs so we can get something a little more interesting. But
Yeah,
I'm okay with taking a side trip just to check things out, new to the city,
All right, sounds good to me. So yeah, I'm going back to the dude who's doing the shitty shit with the shell game.
Okay. You return to where this dude was hustling with his shell game, and unfortunately, he is now missing.
Shit.
There are some performers who have taken his place.
Shifty performers?
Not too shifty performers. It seems to be a sort of small circus,
Yeah, okay, that's what I figured then. Yeah, that's fine. I got nothing to say to them.
You do note, however, that there is a small group of tribal kobolds that are having some loud words with a few merchants.
Oh?
Mm-hmm.
Can we without getting in the middle of this, can we kind of just hear what's going on? What are they saying?
Do any of you speak Draconic?
I don't think I do.
Do any of you speak Yip-Yak? I'm going to guess you don't.
Oh, no. I think I only speak Dwarven and Human, or whatever it is, Common.
Okay, so yeah, you don't really understand what's going on, but you do understand that they're having some kind of argument.
Well, it's loud and it's noisy, so I guess I'm drawn to it, kind of. I'm just kind of gravitating toward it.
Of course.
And yeah, at this point, I walk up and I go, "Well, what are you guys arguing about?"
One of these merchants that was talking to the kobolds turns to you. It's two large groups. You know, there's some merchants with seems to be like one head merchant of this caravan, speaking with the leader of this small group of kobolds. And one of his merchant friends talks to you. He's like, "Oh, well, you know, uh, we're trading with these tribal kobolds, and they're upset with the pricing that we've offered to them. Very unfortunate.
Why are they upset about the pricing?
I am unsure. We offered them an extremely fair deal."
I mean, did you agree upon this deal at this amount at a certain point, and only now they're getting uppity about it?
Yes, we agreed to the price many days ago.
And I take it none of these kobolds speak common.
No, none of them at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess insight's my best check here to see if he's telling me what's going on or if he's just trying to act like the victim.
Okay. You're guessing that he's definitely showing it from a light that favors him and his friends somewhat.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Although he's a merchant, so, you know.
Right. Okay.
Grass
Well,
grows, water flows, merchants exaggerate.
but I have no way to communicate with these kobolds, do I?
Unfortunately, you do not.
Ugh. Yeah, I've really got nothing more, so I'm like, well, I hope you guys get this settled then. Good luck.
Yeah, he turns away from you again.
All right.
This is quite a busy area. There's a lot of other stuff going on if you wanted to
Mm-hmm.
exploring it all.
Yeah, I would. You guys want to do anything too? I feel like I'm kind of hogging right now.
I'm going to look around and see if there's anybody selling animal pelts or meat or basically hunted items of that sort.
There are, as a matter of fact. You find one very large merchant. The merchant himself isn't large, but his amount of stuff is. And he is selling a large amount of, he calls them desert lizards, though his grasp of the language isn't very good, and they're very, very large bits of bones and large lizard skins. You're not sure exactly what they're from. You'd have to do some kind of check.
Okay, I'll roll a nature check, which I really should have a higher score in as a ranger, but to determine what sort of animal this is.
Okay. You're not sure what the exact term for them is, but you know what he's talking about. You would pretty much just describe them as giant lizards too. They're very large, poisonous lizards which live out in the desert. They like to live near water
Venomous.
sources. Yeah, venomous. Sorry, not poisonous. Difference there. They're venomous lizards which live in the desert. They are hunted by a lot of the nomadic kobold tribes. It's like their main food source. They're very common. And like I've said before, generally they like to hang around water sources. So travelers, they're considered like a good luck sign for travelers.
And what sort of prices are their parts getting?
These are overpriced, you know for a fact. He's probably trying to sell mostly to people that go out in the desert very much. So yes, his goods are overpriced, but they are good quality. This is something you'd feel proud if you went out and you caught something like this. They are fine quality goods.
Yeah, as for me, I'm just kind of along for the ride. And like I said, do want to get back to the tavern, but I'm okay with just hanging out and seeing how things go for now.
Okay. Let's see what else is going on. Okay. As you guys are doing whatever you are outside of the city, you see there is some large disturbance going on by the gates. You're not sure what it is.
Okay. Can we do like perception from here to get an eye, or do we need to move closer?
You will need to move closer.
And I look there too, and I'm like, you guys want to go see what's going on over there?
Sure, let's head on out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go check this out then.
Okay. You go to check out what it is. And upon your arrival, you see that it is a large procession. You're not sure what it is or who it is, of dwarves. One of them is dressed in fineries and is riding some kind of weird serpent, like a flying serpent. You're not sure how it stays off the ground. It's very odd. None of you have ever seen one of these before.
So it doesn't have wings, is what you're telling me?
It does have wings.
Oh, well, that's probably
but
how it stays
the
off
wings
the
are
ground.
flapping very, very slowly.
Oh,
You're not sure
okay.
how it works.
Gotcha.
And this dwarven, you assume he's some kind of dignitary, is currently being received by a fellow that looks like he's a member of the guards, though he is very finely dressed. He has several knots on his shoulder. Not sure what they symbolize.
So they're like military, not medals. What the hell do you call those things?
Insignias?
Sure, let's say.
Sort of. It's some kind of designation.
Gotcha. So he's the one causing the commotion?
Yes, this receival is what's causing the commotion. There doesn't seem to be any animosity. It's just that there's a lot of people watching.
Right. Okay, so he's making a spectacle, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This dwarf has several well-armored guards, all of whom are riding on axe beaks next to him.
Do I recognize this dwarf?
Give me a history check.
Jeez.
You recognize him by description, but not by name or anything. You don't remember what his
Okay.
name is.
Gotcha.
But you're guessing that this is probably one of the dwarven princes of the
Okay.
larger mountain homes.
I'd like to do a history check too, by the way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you know who this is. This is one of the princes of the dwarves. You're not sure why he's here, though you're guessing it's something to do with recent trade relations that have been going on and large raids from bandits that have been taking place recently.
Do I know
It's
his
probably
name?
some kind of like official business. Yes. His name is. Hang on, I have it written down. Yeah. Desmeek. Yeah,
Can you read-
Desmeek Goldbraid. That's his name. Yeah, I'll write it up.
Can you just type it out for us?
There you go. He is the third Dwarven Prince. Being the third prince means that he is in charge of foreign relations. He's a diplomat, a dedicated diplomat. So it makes sense that he'd be here.
Okay. And this city, is it like human lands? Is that what we're in?
Yes.
Okay.
You're in the kingdom of the Teravan Empire.
Could you spell that for me?
Yep.
And does this specific city have a name?
Yes, the city is Netulapen, though most people shorten it.
All right.
Just from extremely common knowledge, you know that this is arguably the largest of the kingdoms, and probably the most well centralized as well.
Within all kingdoms, or just for the human people?
For the humans, the dwarves
Okay.
are supremely centralized as they have one large city
Okay.
in their kingdom, and anybody else is probably a hill dwarf or somebody who wants to live by themselves. Hill dwarves pretty much live in tribes. Hill dwarves are not officially part of the dwarven kingdoms.
Right.
All right, so I'll kind of shake my head a little bit and tell everybody who he is and say, yeah, he always likes to make a little bit of a show.
Okay.
I let a look of disgust crawl across my face.
Disgusted by the dwarven prince. Nobody notices you guys watching as everybody else is there. And there doesn't seem to be any cheering or anything. People are mostly just talking. Because a lot of people here are not citizens of the city. They are traders and merchants, nomads. They're people outside. So a lot of this has some kind of impact on them as well.
Yeah, they probably aren't used to seeing a flying lizard either.
Yeah. The flying lizard does get a lot of points and looks. It's also getting later into the evening. It's about 6 o'clock right now, if you had to guess, and the sun is starting to set. It's beginning to get dark. You have a little more time to do other things before it gets dark.
It's starting to cool off a little bit, though.
It is, as a matter of fact. You aren't so sweaty in your armor anymore, though you could definitely use a drink.
What was the name of the tavern we stopped in earlier?
That was the Bent Coin.
The Bent Coin. Okay. And is that like the headquarters for that guild we joined, or just like
yes, that is the headquarters.
Okay. Okay. So do like many taverns have their own little guild going, or?
No, it seems like this is a centralized organization. This is actually a really big tavern.
Okay.
It's why it was recommended to all of you when you entered the city. Everybody was like, yeah, if
Right.
you're looking for somewhere to get work, this is where you should go.
It's almost like an adventurers club too, kind of deal then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha. And this group we joined, is it the Bent Coin? Is that the name of the group? Because I know we got that coin on the bracelet.
No, it doesn't have an official name. It's just referred to as the guild by everyone. Yeah.
Understood.
All right, at this point, I'll propose we head back to the tavern and get something to drink and check things out. All right, so let's head on back there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You head back to the bent coin. And it does seem like it's a little bit less busy in the evening, but it's more busy at the same time. There's a lot less people coming in and out of the building,
But everyone's more animated, is what you're saying?
but everyone's more animated, and there's a lot of people inside getting drinks and such.
Okay. I'll walk up to the bartender and tell him that we got one of the jobs completed. But I'll say, it was boring as shit, and I was wondering if we could get something with a little bit, like how many of these do we have to do before we can move up a level here?
All right, so you're just going to approach the bartender and ask about the jobs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you see, it's not my decision, It's up to the council and your other adventurers. It's a big deal when someone's up for promotion,
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
How do people know they're going to be up for promotion though? Like, who decides that? Or do you know, do I have to do like 5 of these boring ass copper jobs to move up to silver? Like, what is the deal here?
You need to apply for it, initiative.
Apply? How do you apply? Do I have to sign more papers?
No. He laughs at you. No more papers.
Good. But
fill
how
out a
do
resume.
I apply then? Like, who do I talk to?
You just tell me, and then I'll convene the small council and ask some of your fellow adventurers what their thoughts on you and your exploits are. We make a decision.
Fair enough. I'll put that off for now. I'll talk to you about this later, okay?
Understood.
So I would like to go up to the board and see what some of the silver level jobs look like.
Okay. You go and have a look at some of the other jobs. Silver jobs are also, a lot of them seem to be a step up. Some of them are less like guard this, do this, stand around, and be and look menacing. And a lot of them are more go and collect this specific payment from this person. We're looking for bandit bounties for bandits in the region. That's like an open task. There's one that's like a really big group of people, of a merchant that's looking for caravan escorts. Well, a lot of these are more in depth.
But they sound better, more dangerous, and more
They do.
stabby.
Are more dangerous, and they are more lucrative. Some of them have prices listed.
Yeah. And so I go back to these 2 guys. Well, actually, yeah, I'm going to talk to them first. So I go back and I'm like, I think we should move up to silver. This bronze stuff is totally beneath us. I mean, we aced the shit out of this last job. I think they're underestimating us.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how you prove that you can do better if you're not giving you better jobs to do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take a chance at these things.
Yeah, we're not being tested right now, and that's the whole point of my pilgrimage, is to be tested.
All right. Well, yeah. So let's move up. I have no problem with that.
We gotta talk to the guy. I think we should approach him as a group and let him know that we're all ready for the silver level. Well, what do you say, Arendar?
Andarin?
Yes, Andarin. That's right.
That's an inside joke, by the way.
I think that we can take care of business. We should try something that is a little bit more your speed.
All right then. Let's go do this then. So, you guys down to approach the barkeep?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So we approach the barkeep then.
Yes. What can I do for you?
We want to move up to silver.
Oh, really? Already?
That's right. We feel like we really felt this out after that first job, and we think we're way above the bronze tier.
Bronze?
Copper tier.
Of course. Well, perhaps some concessions could be made for you. Yes, you did seem to You seem quite well equipped for the task, not the usual brutes that come in.
Mhm.
I will give you a special dispensation, but only this once.
All right.
So basically saying you'll let us do a silver job, see how we do. Then if we do well, then we can make it official.
Yes, of course.
Awesome. Okay.
Sounds good then. What you got?
Go ahead and look over the board. I'm not going to give you something. This is up to you.
Oh, all right then. Let's go look at the board.
Appropriate job selection for your skill set is just as important as being able to accomplish it, and is part of moving up.
That makes
Continues his
sense.
little spiel, so you can keep listening, or you can kind of
No,
walk
thanks.
away.
I'm just gonna he's gonna walk away.
Yeah, you
While he
history
walks away-
teacher him, and you walk
Yeah.
away.
While he walks away, I'll say, by the way, what have you got in the realm of drinks around here?
Oh, for drinks. Well, of course we have the standard root fare of the region, but we also have some finer wines and some ales and some other selections, and we have water if you're feeling particularly pricey.
Not just looking for something to wet the whistle, nothing fancy, just the basic. What you got?
Juice
How
it
much?
is.
All
And
right.
he,
How much would that be?
well, usually I serve it with a meal. This stuff is not worth an awful lot.
Well, how much is a meal then? Because it's getting kind of late in the day.
1 copper will get you something to eat for the evening.
Okay, I'd like something to eat. Be honest with you.
Understood. In that case, please wait a moment at
sure.
a table of your choice, and a server will bring your meal to you.
Great. And one more question: do you have rooms for the evening?
Of course.
Okay. How much would those be?
Rooms are 1 copper apiece for an evening.
Okay. And it's just is that just a single person for room, or is that something we can get a couple people in? What's
Yes.
the situation? Okay.
They are single-person rooms, of course. You could fit more in, but it will be highly uncomfortable.
I can see that. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go over, sit on the table, get something to eat here, and we'll talk rooms later.
Okay, and I'm also going to put in an order in for a meal.
Okay.
All right, so I'm looking at the board, silver
Yep.
jobs. Which one of these looks like it's going to involve stabbing?
Almost all of them look like they're going to involve stabbing. Lots of stabbing.
Okay. List off 3 of them for me.
The first 3 that you can see, one fellow is looking for somebody to help him with a problem he's had with kobold raiders. He knows they're kobolds, and they've been taking his livestock recently and eating it, which they really shouldn't be doing.
That does sound weird.
He's looking for somebody to help him with that.
Okay.
There is somebody, a merchant, who is looking for somebody to help him bring some goods to the coast, where he's going to load them onto a ship. And those seem to be the 2 main ones, though there is a third one which doesn't really interest you an awful lot, which is another in-city guard job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No thanks on that.
This one does seem a little more exciting.
What?
This guard job is somebody looking for some hired muscle for some debt collection.
I don't know how I feel about debt collection. I'm not trying to be some goon, just working over people down on their luck.
Yeah, that's
I
just
think
breaking
I'd-
kneecaps. That's not killing because you don't get your money then.
Yeah, I'm just I'm gravitating towards the kobold thing. So I grab that sheet and I go back to them and I'm like, let's go get some kobolds.
Yeah, kobolds are a bit of a menace. I have no problem there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it.
All right. I put the piece of paper down and I'm like, well then let's celebrate moving up to silver. Let's do this. So I go up to the barkeep and I ask him for a meal and a drink as well.
Okay. Yeah, you ask him for a meal and a drink, and he is all too happy to provide for 1 copper.
All right, I give him 1 copper.
You give him your copper, and he takes it graciously. Okay. Also, at this time, Braun is given his food. He's given this bitter juice, along with some kind of root similar to a potato, very starchy, and a small piece of meat, which is well done.
What kind of meat?
Yeah,
Not sure.
It's lizard meat, isn't it?
You're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I will happily eat it.
All right then. Fucking mystery meat.
You eat
Yeah.
the meat. It's pretty good. It's pretty tough. You see why it's well done. Doesn't taste all that great. Truth be told.
I didn't think it would.
All right. After I finish my meal, I discuss getting a room for the night with the keeper.
You discuss a room tonight with the innkeeper, and he agrees that he can get you a single-person room for 1 copper. It's pretty cheap.
All right. I pay for my lodgings, and I let the other two know that I will see them in the morning.
All right then. I give like a wave, you know.
So this job, where's this at? We have to go out to the farm somewhere, right? So is that something we probably should pick up in the morning?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. We're gonna wanna we'll also need to prepare, most likely. Grab some supplies and stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like water's going to be a little bit of a fun thing to come by. We'll have to get some juice or something instead
Mm-hmm.
for the road.
I mean, but we've been traveling this area for a while, so we're accustomed. We know what we're gonna need as far as like provisions go, right?
Right. So we start, Riz, we started with rations. That's includes the water, or is that? I have a water skin too, I guess. So I just didn't know how
just a
that figured out.
substitute.
All right.
So are you all turning in for the night? Have you all paid for your
I haven't paid for my room yet, so I'm not turning in just yet.
and Darren is not going to eat anything?
He didn't he?
I did, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, you did.
I don't know
actually,
if he
never
has
mind.
food.
I was
Yeah,
thinking of something else.
he bought his food. I didn't know if it came to the table yet or not.
If you don't eat it there, it'll be brought to your room. So you do you get food regardless.
All right. So while we're kind of sitting around, I'll just lean over and say, "Hey, so what's brings you out here, by the way? Just kind of curious."
Well, I kind of just right now the order said I needed to kind of strike out on my own. You know, I don't work well with others usually. This is kind of me testing myself in many ways. You know, many tests on this hard road of mine.
You seem fine. I don't see why you would have problems working with others.
Yeah. Anyway, mostly I'm just on the lookout for new more powerful stuff. You know, like I've got Gretchen 3 here. You know, that's and I'm like lifting and kind of like shaking my axe, like, but I need something more. I need something better. You know, it's like I've been swinging this around for so long. You just the cuts don't quite bring the excitement like they used to, and so I'm always just kind of looking to upgrade. What?
It's nothing.
Okay.
You're supremely creepy. It's good.
Yes, that's how he is with weapons. He is supremely creepy with weapons. That's perfect.
Yeah, I appreciate the the weapon thing myself. I like a good weapon. My longswords here kept me well safe for much time.
Yeah. You spend a lot of time traveling?
I have been lately, yes. It's not something I used to do a lot of, but things have taken me out of my area. So it's been
Well,
it's been a fun journey.
Why the change of pace? Why the sudden momentum?
A little bit of family issues, trying to find somebody.
Oh, I see.
Not having much luck finding this guy, but I will catch him one day, and he will pay.
Oh. Well, all right then.
You're gonna break his knees.
To start.
So at this point, I feel like like the conversation's getting kind of awkward. And I'm like, yeah, boy. Well, I'm gonna turn in then. Yeah, I'm just gonna. So I go up to the barkeep and I get my room all sorted out
All right.
for it's 1 copper, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I give him 1 copper for a room, and where is it?
It's upstairs.
All right, then I head on upstairs. I assume since it's like a shitty 1 copper room, there aren't like baths and shit.
No.
Good,
You
don't
get
use them
a
anyways.
bed.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I imagine with water
That's
being
it.
scarce, baths aren't something that a lot of people take.
Yeah, exactly.
I will stay a little bit longer and just do a quick perception perusal of the room and see if I see anything that would indicate what I'm looking for. But other than that, just general perception too.
What do you mean? What you're looking for?
History of my character.
No, you don't find anything related to that.
All right. So after about a half hour or so, I'll just get up and go and pay for my room and head on to bed.
Okay. You all pay for your rooms and head to sleep. The night's very uneventful. Though the next day, you all wake up and it is extremely hot outside. Unusually warm, even for this time of year. And downstairs, most of the people are just sitting inside. You know, they're not interested at all in going anywhere today. Tavern's full of people sitting around, sweating and playing musical instruments and talking, chatting. Not so many people looking at jobs. Today it seems to be mostly just people sitting around and being social. Though there's still a lot of people here.
Okay. Well then, I suppose we should probably start off with breakfast, so we don't have to burn a ration on the road right out the gate.
Yeah, that's what I was going to think of. Breakfast, and I also want to find out how long it's going to take us to get to this location we're headed to. This
Yeah,
farm.
we could ask this guy.
So I'll ask the bartender how long he thinks it'll take to travel out there.
Where exactly are you going?
And I'll lean over to Glint and ask him what the job says where we're going to.
Look at the paper, and where's it say we're going to?
It says that you are going out to a ranch out in the countryside.
Any better directions than that? Or are we going to know where
It
we're
says
going?
the ranch is along the northern road.
Ranch along the northern road. Okay. Does it give us the name of the client?
Yes, it does. You are working for one, and you're not sure if it's a Mr. or Mrs. or anything like that, or if they have any titles. It says you're working for Greenport is their name.
Greenport. Is that a surname that we recognize?
You're not sure.
Okay. Ooh, definitely not.
I am not familiar.
Yeah. Okay, then. I
You
guess
don't
we
know.
will we'll head out for that. Well, I'm sorry. I guess we will grab breakfast first, which is, I assume, is another copper.
Correct.
And wait for our third party member.
Right. Yeah, we'll wait for him while we're eating.
I come downstairs and meet up with the other two and put an order in for a meal.
You can all have breakfast for 1 copper apiece.
Okay, so after I finish up eating, I asked the barkeep where we should go to get supplies for the road, like rations and stuff like that. Oh, where's the General's goods store?
There's several stores. You did take note of one of them.
Okay.
You can easily find the store that you want. There is a general store that you know sells supplies, including food and other things, just down the road, pretty much. It seems like they kind of created it to, oh, look at all these adventures nearby. Surely they'll need something to eat,
Okay. All right, so I approach these two guys while they're eating, and I say we should check out this store right here for supplies, since we might be gone for a couple days. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, I do have 10 days worth of rations, but we should probably make sure we have plenty of fluids to drink along the way.
Well as somewhere to sleep, because we'll need some supplies for fire, because these desert nights can get awfully cold sometimes, not to mention the wind and all that.
Yeah, wood's not going to be
So yeah, we
a
should try
premium,
to get
yeah.
some kind of tent or something. So as soon as you guys are done eating, we can move on out.
All right, sounds good.
Is the morning crowd kind of thinner than the midday and day crowd, or night crowd?
Morning crowd is significantly thinner.
Okay.
Seems like there is a lot of what's the word? A lot of people that come here for work during the day but don't bother.
Gotcha. Do I see the dude, the troublemaker from yesterday?
You do not see him there.
Shit, I should have got his name. Oh, I can probably ask the barkeep. Yeah, I'm gonna approach the barkeep and ask him if he knows the name of the guy I got into a tussle with yesterday.
Oh, yeah, the fellow's name is Grudel, I believe. I don't remember. He hasn't been around very long. Only a few weeks.
And he's
Keeps getting
already
in trouble.
known as a troublemaker. Huh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
He said his name was Grudel, like Grudel.
Mhm.
Already making nemesis, are we?
Oh yeah.
Because they worked out so well last time.
We never did find Williams.
Nope.
Damn it. Makes me sad. Okay. So if you guys are ready, we can head on over to the general store.
Let's do this thing. Let's get on the road. Action.
All right.
Did we find out how long it's going to take to get there, though? Did the bartender ever answer us?
He did in fact answer you. He said that if you had to guess, it's probably going to take anywhere between a few days to a week or more to get there, and then
Holy
back.
shit.
And then back will take that same amount of time. That's a good distance
Okay,
away.
then. Yeah, no kidding.
So we need to we either need to walk it or we need to try and find some of these glorified turkeys to ride, right? We don't see a lot of horses. We see everybody on these axe beaks, right?
Yeah, you don't even know if horses are a thing. You do not understand the concept of a horse.
So wait, how many rations did we start with?
I don't know. Whatever you
Different
started with in your kit.
for each. I had 10 in my kit.
I think I have. So mine says 2, but you both have 10. That's weird.
It says 2, or does it say it weighs 2?
Does it say what?
Where did it say 2 at?
In the box, basically. Like when I set this all up, like what was it, like a week and a half ago? I must have put down 2 rations because it said 2 rations. So I don't know.
Did you not start off with a standard kit?
No, I had the. I think it was called like the priest kit, is what it was called.
Like that, yes.
Okay then. So I guess I'm gonna have to get extra rations for me.
Yeah, the priest pack does say 2 rations. That seems weird because it's 2 pounds per rations, and I've got 10 rations. They're only 2 pounds, so that doesn't seem like it's right.
Yeah, that's very weird.
And you don't even. I've got a bedroll. You don't have a bedroll or anything like that. You just have a blanket.
Yeah, I've got.
It's been on the hard ground.
Yeah, I mean, hey, armor's probably pretty cushioned, you know. Sure.
Priest is supposed to be poor, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
You have an alms
Okay.
box. You could try to get some money that way, right? Alms for the poor.
I guess so.
You're the poor one in this case.
Yeah, right. I'm just eating. Just take the money out. They're like, dude, like, yeah, I'm the poor person. The fuck. I can be poor too, damn it.
The beggar down the street gives you a silver because he feels bad for you.
Yeah, he's like, man, look at this shithead over here. Okay, so let's get moving to the general store then.
Okay, yeah. You go to the general store, and there are a few guards posted. One inside, one outside to make sure nobody runs off with stuff. And there is a good amount of your fellow adventurers buying things inside. There are 2 store assistants and 1 store keeper.
Okay. Does any of the adventurers inside look particularly well traveled?
Yes, there is one group that looks like they're very well traveled. They're kind of like running. It's like they have a checklist of things that they grab every time. You know, they're like zooming about getting everything they need.
Right. I would like to approach those guys then.
They're all split up, but you can choose one of them to approach.
I picked the tallest one.
Okay, you pick the tallest one. This guy's about 7 feet tall, bald, no real armor, with a very large greatsword strapped to his back.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing traveler's clothes right now.
I see. And so I approach him and I say, "Hey, sir, you look like you have you've done quite a lot of traveling in your days."
Yes, I have.
I say, we're gonna be going on a trip for about 2 weeks, and I gotta be honest. I haven't spent much time out in the desert. Do you have any suggestions for what we should have for essentials?
Oh, yes, of course. You will want large amounts of food and water. Not necessarily water, but you know what I mean. Something more local to the region to bring with you.
Mhm.
More than you need, I advise. You never know when the sand will ruin what you have brought. It doesn't hurt also to bring some rope and perhaps a grappling hook. The Badlands have many, many cliffs and caves. And also, a bottle of anti-venom would do you well.
Really? Are there many venomous creatures out in the desert?
Oh, yes, many.
I see. What I mean, what's the worst one in your opinion? Like if I came up against a particular type of creature that I should just completely avoid if possible, what would you say?
Definitely the scorpions.
Scorpions. Okay. Are they big out in the desert?
They're called giant scorpions, so yes.
Yeah, I imagine giant scorpions would be rather large. It does you're making a lot of sense here.
He nods.
Okay, what about for nighttime? Like, how do you guys get by with sleeping?
Uh, we mostly sleep inside of caves where it is warm in the evenings and cold in the days.
Oh, are there enough caves out there to I mean, do you just like hop from cave to cave then?
Yes, we have well-traveled routes that we enjoy.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to share some of those by chance.
I'm afraid not, my friend, no.
You sure you could? Because we're heading up north. You couldn't tell us of any locations, perhaps?
No, I am sorry.
Could I try and do a persuasion here?
Sure, you can try.
Well, what I'm going to say to the guy is, this is our first time out, and we could really use a hand here because we just don't know the area that well. And I mean, surely he wouldn't want us to, freeze to death out there.
Perhaps if I knew you better, but no.
So I get from the way this guy is dressed and whatnot that he's kind of a barbarian or some such, right?
He's definitely foreign. He's very dark-skinned, and he has a large curved sword. You don't know what kind of sword this is. His clothing is
I say, well,
strange.
us dwarves, when we want to get to know people better, we just do a little arm wrestling. So how about if I beat you in a little arm wrestling competition? Would you be more willing to share information with me?
He laughs. Perhaps not arm wrestling, but I would be partial to a contest of strength, yes.
All right then, what you got?
We will do something classic. It is called line in the sand.
Okay.
Somebody will draw a line in the sand, and we will both attempt to push or pull the other person past their line or over our line. Do you understand?
I do understand, yes.
It is a simple contest, but one of great skill.
Mm-hmm. Well, then let's take this outside, I suppose.
Of course. And a few other adventurers overheard this bit, and they're kind of chattering amongst themselves, like, "Oh, he's gonna do another one of these. Oh, that's so cool! I haven't seen this in months."
Oh
And,
boy.
it's like, yeah. So you're getting a little bit of a crowd. His friends are just ignoring what's going on. One of them kind of gives a glance at him and rolls his eyes, but they're still in the store.
Okay.
He goes out and he takes out his sword and draws 3 lines in the sand, one in the middle, one and one on either side of that line.
Right,
He
and we
stands
stand
between
between. Yes,
the
okay.
lines. Yes.
Right. And do we have a rope, or are we just gonna like try and push or pull the other person by grappling, basically?
Like, he sets his weapon to the side.
Mhm.
Please, whenever you are ready, go to your section and we will begin the grapple.
Okay, and I do so. So what do we do?
Roll strength. He prepares to grapple. He stretches his arms out.
Okay.
And you guys are about to go at it.
Okay.
We'll roll his strength against yours, along with his feats.
Okay.
He easily beats you.
You don't say. And
Yeah.
okay, so I ask him for a best of 3, basically.
He laughs and agrees and
Excellent.
stands you back up.
All right, and I dust myself off. Like, all right, that was just the warm up. Not used to this. You've got the years of experience, I'm sure. So I'm ready now, though. Loosened up. Let's do this.
Much better. He wins this round yet again,
Damn it.
but it's much more close this time.
Mm-hmm.
Though he does win, you're both pushing against each other quite hard, and he shows you the danger of not being in an easily reversible stances. He just pulls you over his line quite easily.
I see. Okay.
So he sort of reverse tug of wars you,
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. And I say, well, you're clearly a very seasoned warrior, so there's no real shame in this loss. But now that we've sweated a bit together, what do you say? Could you help us out?
Perhaps I can give you some useful advice.
I would welcome that very much. Yes, please.
When you are selecting a cave, get one that faces away from the sun in the mornings. Lizards will often make their roosts inside of caves that face the sun.
Okay. I will do just that then.
Also, since I have a few extras, take this. He hands you a small bottle full of a brownish liquid.
I ask him, I'm like shaking from me. I'm like, what is this exactly?
It is a anti-venom that we made on the road. It is not
Oh.
of great quality, but it will keep you alive until you can find a dedicated healer.
Oh, that's fantastic. How much, if we get bit, do we take the whole bottle in one gulp?
Yes, just down the whole thing.
Okay, then I will do just that. And I reach out my hand to shake his hand.
He like grasps your forearm and shakes your hand.
All right, and I thank him and head back inside.
He goes with you, and he returns to his selection of tents.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at the other two. I'm just like covered in dirt and shit. I'm like, I think I got an idea what we're doing here.
Cool. How did it go? Did you beat him?
Oh, I mean, I feel like I gave as much as I got. This is a lot of give and take, push and pull, if you will.
I don't speak Dwarven, but that sounds quite a bit like I lost.
I mean, I feel that all languages are open to interpretation. So, if that's how you interpret it, I mean, it must be like an elf thing or something. I don't know. So, I guess does anybody want to handle procuring the supplies, or should we just all get up there and have a talk with the guy?
I mean, I can look into procuring the supplies. I'll approach the gentleman behind the counter and see what we can do about getting what we need.
All right,
Just to make sure what we need. We need some rations. We need a tent that we can share, and also some juice or something for the road.
Well, and some firewood.
And firewood. Great. All right. Is you there?
Yeah, what are you getting?
So I would guess we would need 2 weeks of rations for each of us, a tent we can all fit in, some firewood for 2 weeks, and juice to last us that time as well.
It's a 1 copper per individual person for a full day ration of like juice and food. So it's 3 copper per day for you guys collectively.
Per
Right.
day, but we're going to be gone like 14 days, so
Mhm.
we can't quite afford that, to my knowledge.
All right, so let's just get 7 days worth, and hopefully we can get something out of the merchant when we get there.
That's an idea. An other idea is that we back burner this for a day, go to that dude we did a job for yesterday, collect a little bit more, and then we will have hopefully the money to undertake this journey.
Oh, we could do that, yeah. Because it's just going to put us a day behind. I don't think it'd be that big of a deal.
Yeah,
we can try and make it
exactly.
up on the road.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Esky?
Sounds good to me. I don't think we have the money to pay for what we need right now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll tell the guy behind the counter, that's good. Let us know on the prices. We'll be back to procure those at a later time. Thanks for your
The
time.
storekeeper adjusts his glasses and nods to you.
All right. So we have to go back to the... Do we have to go back to the... Oh, no, we just have to go straight to him. We don't need to...
Yeah, go to the smith.
Yep.
So we make our way to the human smith to let him know we are interested in the other job he had for us.
All right.
That's Bardolph.
You return to Bardolph the Smith's shop and find it conspicuously empty. The door is also unlocked.
I will knock on the door cautiously and try it to see if we can open it if there's no answer.
There's no answer when you knock on the door.
But it's unlocked, so we could go in if we wanted.
Yeah, you could go in if you wanted.
I will enter.
I'll follow up behind him as well.
The delay is killing me.
What are you saying?
We're entering the store.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. I gotta set up. Yeah. You enter the store, and his stuff is just tossed about the place. It's been tossed up like they were searching for something. Several of the floorboards are pulled up, and Bardolph is nowhere to be found.
A mystery. So I'm gonna do a search, a perception, I guess, to see if I can find either Bardolph, his remains, or where he may be if he's hiding somewhere.
Okay.
Yuck.
All right. You do not find any sign of Bardolph. You do find a few copper pieces and a single silver coin that are left on the floor behind the counter. Looks like everything else was cleaned out.
We'll pick those up.
Oh, so the place has been ransacked?
Yes, very
Ransacked.
much so. Yeah, floorboards have been
he's-
pulled up and everything else.
Oh. Is there a note anywhere? I guess I'll do investigation for a note or something.
Okay. There is no note anywhere.
Okay.
However, though, you do find a small piece of red cloth. It's been torn.
Torn piece of red cloth. Do any of us recognize the material? Like, is it fancy or is it just like some shitty cotton?
Yeah, it's properly dried cloth. It's like linen.
Okay.
Okay. So would I roll a survival or some other check to see how many or what type of assailants came into the building?
That would be like a perception. Okay, well, first, the door was not broken into. It was opened either by him or somebody picked it. The floorboards were pulled up by wedging something under them, not by breaking them open. So probably not an axe or a hammer or anything like that. That's all you can really tell.
So
Are there
I guess
any
we should.
signs of like a scuffle or anything?
There are no signs of a scuffle aside from this torn piece of cloth.
I see. This guy was old though, so it wouldn't have been difficult to get him out of the way.
I think we should go talk to the guards real quick, so that
Yeah.
they know that we found this and we're not in here if they walk in.
Yeah, agreed.
So I know there were some guards close by. We could go approach and let them know what happened here.
Okay. I will stay nearby and watch the storefront in case anything happens.
Okay.
So I'll approach the guards.
You approach the pair of guards.
I'm like, gentlemen, we were coming back to meet with what's his name? I can't remember now. I just said it.
You said it was like Bardolph.
Yeah, we were Bardolph, and we noticed the shop was unlocked, and it looks like it's been ransacked, and we just want to let you know so you could take an investigation, take a look at it, see if you can figure out what's going on here. It looks like something may have happened to him.
Well, there's an issue with one of the shops, eh?
Yeah, it looks like it's been broken into and ransacked.
I'll go investigate.
All right, we'll come with you if you don't mind. I'm kind of curious because we were working for this guy. We want to make sure he's okay.
Bevel, go get some backup. And, the large burly guard follows you to the store.
Okay.
Please, get out of the building. We would not want to disturb any evidence.
Sure.
All right.
If you don't mind, we'd like to stay here right now and just kind of help out to see what we can, if there's anything we can do to assist and find out what happened, if you can figure anything out.
Yes, you said you were on a job for him?
Yeah, he asked us to come back today to help him guard him while he was moving some goods around the city. So we were coming back to fulfill that. And when we noticed the shop was broken into.
Of course. You already brought some goods here.
Yes, we we worked with him yesterday and guarding him on a similar mission.
Did you see them inside when you went in this morning?
I did not see them specifically. It looks like a lot of things have been missing, so we're not sure of the full inventory of what was taken.
Of course. Did he indicate to you what his job was for you today?
All he indicated was that he would want us to guard him on another procurement. We don't know what it was or where he was going to be going.
Understood. And the guard is contemplative.
Well, I mean, I guess we should just leave them to their investigation. If you do figure out what happens, could you get a note to the bartender at the Bent Coin? So, that's how you could contact us.
Of course. Please, your name, sirs? The investigation.
I'm Grent.
Yeah, Braun.
Thank you, sirs. We'll inform you if we find anything of your employer.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, so I mean, a silver piece would probably more than cover our expenses. That's technically metagaming though, because I didn't exactly
Yeah,
see
how
you
much-
pick up the coins and stuff.
Yeah, how much was it that I picked up?
5 copper and that 1 silver piece. That's it.
All right, so yeah, that's I'll kind of go away from the location and let them know what I found. And somebody found a piece of red cloth too, so we didn't tell the investigators about that. We're gonna keep that to ourselves.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I got a couple coins. If you want, we can use that to help get us on the road.
And while I don't like using coins that aren't technically yours,
Oh no, if we
he's-
find out he's safe and fine, I'll give it back to him.
yeah,
It's no big
exactly. We
deal.
can always we're
But if
borrowing
we just
it,
if we just
and-
left it there, somebody else would have found it, or the city guard would have taken it, and he would never seen it again. So I'd
Yep.
rather keep a hold of it and give it back to him at any time we see him again.
That sounds right to me. Yeah, I think we should. We will utilize those funds then for our own journey, which will, and in turn help us investigate. Yeah, because we'll make more money, and there, yeah, makes perfect sense to me.
Yep.
So, back to the general store then.
So on the rates, just to check on the rates, what 1 silver is 10 copper, or is it 100 copper?
It's 100.
All right, so I have 100 copper. We have plenty to get what we need then.
Okay, so then we're all in agreement. We're headed back to the general store.
Yep.
Yep.
You make your way back to the store again. Pretty much everybody that was here before is still here. Your trip didn't take very long. So now you know the way.
All right, so I'll approach the guy behind the counter and tell him that we want to get the 2 weeks of supplies for the trip. So that would be 14, 24, 28 times 3, however many that is for rations. In a tent, juice, and firewood.
He seems a little bit horrified at the idea of you burning wood. But he does have, he knows what you mean. So he gets you some, a collection of sort of like, very like light, almost rock-like, like twigs and sticks. He says will
Right.
burn.
Okay.
And, that will be your firewood.
Okay.
And of course you can pay for however many supplies you want in terms of food and drink. But a tents cost between 1 to 5 silver, depending on what kind of tent you want. On the pricey end.
All right. We will forego the tent then and sleep out amongst the stars.
I guess so. Or hopefully within a cave.
Yes.
That we're making a fucking igloo out of sand or something. Hope somebody's got high survival skills.
So we got
He's
rations.
good at survival skills, actually.
Yeah. So is it 36 rations that we're gonna need? Or hold on a second. I'm doing the math real quick.
It should be 14 rations apiece, basically.
Right. So that's 3 times 14. So it's 42.
42, yes.
So 42 rations, and is the juice included in that? the drinking.
Indeed, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So
that
this
is food and drink.
So that's 42 silver and firewood. How much is firewood? Twigs or whatever.
It's going to run you 2 copper per night's worth.
That's a bit.
2 copper per night. So that's 24. And I think that's it then, right?
What's that?
Mm-hmm.
We need grappling hook, rope, and grappling hook.
I have rope, but yeah, we can get a grappling hook. How much is a grappling hook?
You can get like a one-time use hook made out of bronze. That'll run you 50 copper, or you can get a nicer one for 5 silver. It'll
5
hold up very
silver?
well.
Jesus.
We'll do the 50.
Are we gonna have
copper one.
enough for that? For the 50 copper?
So to 50.
I mean, because I've got
It's gonna be
13
close.
copper on
Yeah,
me.
it's gonna be. Hold on a second. So it's going to be 116 copper we would need, and I have.
Well, you had 105 from that.
Yep,
So-
105. So just need 3 apiece from each of us.
Okay, so I'll chip in 3 then.
As will I.
All right, that'll give us what we need.
All right, we're all set then.
All right. Yeah, you think you have everything you need.
Nice.
And as such, you get ready to leave. You pass by some Axpeak stables on your way out, but you are at the entrance of the city.
Nice.
The world is your oyster. You know which direction the ranch is and how to recognize it. And they gave you, there's a description of a few landmarks and how to get there. So you shouldn't be too bad.
Okay.
And
So
you
then,
leave the city.
nice.
You begin to make your way north. And in making your way north, you are on the main road. For quite a while, the main road is paved, but after about half a day of traveling, the pavement is gone, and you are just on a well-traveled dirt road. The further out you go, the less and less people you see. And by the time you settle down for the evening, you're only having people pass occasionally. It is the evening now. Your day of traveling on the main road is very safe and uneventful.
All right, we will try and look for a cave for the evening.
I will roll a survival check to see what I can find.
Okay. Yep, roll survivals to try to find some caves.
Okay, so which direction is the sun setting in?
It is setting to the west, so
So we're looking for caves facing west, right? Right, because we don't want
Correct.
The-
Yeah, we don't want it to face the rising sun.
right. Okay.
So west, south, or north would be better than the east.
well
I'm not seeing much other than
Yeah.
sand, guys.
and Darn cannot find a cave for you guys.
All right, okay, I can. Try
That's
and look
okay, because I
myself.
have, dwarves. We're pretty good at finding caves and holes in the ground.
You are, as a matter of fact, and you find a cave near a small cliff on a hill that you think is almost hidden. Somehow no travelers near on the road have found it.
Mhm.
you prepare to settle down in this cave for the evening. The cave is still nice and warm. I doubt you'll need a fire.
Cool.
Nice. Is how big is this cave exactly?
This is a pretty big cave. You could comfortably fit probably 12 people in here.
Okay.
It's sizable.
There's no like cracks or anything around, any crevices that things might slip in and out of.
Is a crack deeper down in the cave that you can't head through and you can't see down into as there's no light.
Well, I mean, I've got dark vision though.
Yeah, but you still can't see that far. It's all gray to you. So
Oh,
you have a hard
gotcha,
time
gotcha.
distinguishing between shapes.
Right. So how big is this crack? Would you say?
It's about 2 feet wide and about 6 inches like tall, I guess.
Is there anything nearby we could cover this with?
I
You
have a
can't
trap.
find anything.
You have a trap.
You have a shield. or anything?
Yeah. I would say put the trap on the hole then, because we don't want creepy crawlies coming out of there while we're trying to sleep.
All right, I'll set up the trap where anything would have to pass through to get in and out of this hole.
Excellent.
Okay. You set up your trap.
So now we just break up into watches. Yeah.
What you want to do?
I guess I'll take first watch.
I can take a second.
Okay.
So you guys set up an order of watches, and you all turn in for the night.
And do we want to maybe take a 5 minutes while we're waiting for the
5
evening to
minute
pass?
break? Yeah, fine by me. I can get some water.
Sure
Right.
do.
Yeah, I can do that for a quick 5. I'll be right back.
All right then.
Hey, guys.
Yep.
I hate to do this, but I am going to have to take off.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I let my dogs out before we started, and I went to check on them, and they are gone.
Oh, no. You better hurry up out of there.
Yep.
Go on. Get out.
I'm getting going. So thanks, Scott, for everybody. I'm just going to have to cut. So talk to you guys later.
All right. Hope you find your dogs, man.
Please do find dogs.